Welcome to our channel now. I know what you're thinking, goats. Really, what could possibly go wrong? Well, let me tell you, as someone who's wrestled with sheep and cars and tractors and my own common sense, goats are a whole different kettle of, well, let's just say they're a handful. Today we're diving headfirst into the wonderful world of goat farming and, more specifically, the top 10 challenges that'll have you reaching for the aspirin. But don't worry, we're not just here to highlight the problems. We're going to give you the solutions, the workarounds, the Clarkson-approved methods to overcome these hurdles and come out the other side smelling of roses. Or at least not smelling of goat. You know what I mean. So buckle up, grab a cuppa, or something stronger, I won't judge. And let's get stuck into the wonderful, chaotic, utterly unpredictable world of goat farming. Right, first up, let's talk disease. Because let's face it, nothing ruins your day faster than a pen full of poorly goats. Foot rot sounds delightful, doesn't it? It's about as much fun as it sounds. Imagine your feet rotting off. Not pleasant, is it? Keep an eye out for lameness, nasty smells, and generally miserable-looking hooves. Then there's mastitis, affects the udder, usually in lactating goats, swollen, hot, painful. Not what you want when you're trying to get your milk supply going. Prevention is key here, folks. Cleanliness is next to godliness, or at least next to healthy goats. Clean bedding, dry pens, the lot, and don't even get me started on parasites. Worms, lice, you name it, goats can get it. Regular worming is a must. And keep an eye out for any scratching or signs of discomfort. Now, I'm not a vet, but I've learned a thing or two from experience, and a few frantic calls to the local animal doctor. Early detection is key. If you see something's not right, don't wait, call a professional. Trust me on this one. So, you've got a healthy herd. You're feeling good, then bam! The market for goat cheese collapses. Welcome to farming, my friend. 1 minute you're riding high, the next you're staring bankruptcy in the face. The key here is diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket or your goats in one market. Explore different avenues: meat, milk, fiber, even goat yoga if you're feeling adventurous. Keep an eye on market trends. Read industry publications, talk to other farmers, become a goat market guru, and be prepared to adapt. If the price of hay skyrockets, you need to know how to adjust your budget and find alternatives. It's a roller coaster, this farming game. But with a bit of savvy and a lot of luck, you might just stay ahead of the curve. Now, I know what you're thinking. Goats and the environment, what's there to worry about? Well, those little blighters can generate a surprising amount of waste. And that waste, my friends, can be a real environmental hazard. First up, manure management. Composting is your friend here, turns that smelly mess into valuable fertilizer. Just make sure you do it properly or you'll end up with a bigger mess on your hands. Then there's grazing. Overgrazing can lead to soil erosion and all sorts of nasty environmental problems. Rotate your pastures, give the land a chance to recover. And consider planting trees or shrubs. They'll provide shade for your goats and help prevent erosion. Remember, we're not just farmers, we're custodians of the countryside. Let's treat it with respect. Now, let's talk about food, glorious food, or at least goat food. Because if you want healthy, productive goats, you need to feed them right. And that doesn't mean just chucking them any old scraps. Hay is the mainstay of a goat's diet, but not all hay is created equal. Look for good quality hay, free from mold and dust, and make sure you store it properly to maintain its nutritional value. Goats are browsers, not grazers. That means they like to nibble on leaves and shrubs, not just grass. So provide them with a variety of browse plants, and don't forget about minerals. Goats need a balanced mineral supplement to stay healthy. Talk to your vet about the best options for your herd. Remember, a healthy goat is a happy goat. And a happy goat means more milk, meat, or whatever else you're raising them for. Right, let's talk about the birds and the bees, or in this case, the billies and the does, because if you want to keep your herd going, you need to master the art of goat breeding. First up, selecting the right breeding stock. You want healthy, genetically sound animals with good conformation and temperament. Do your research, visit other farms and choose wisely. Then there's the actual breeding. You can let nature take its course, or you can opt for artificial insemination. Each method has its pros and cons, so weigh your options carefully. Once your does are bred, you need to provide them with proper care and nutrition throughout their pregnancy. And be prepared for the arrival of those bouncing baby goats. Breeding goats can be challenging, but it's also incredibly rewarding. Just be prepared for the occasional sleepless night and a whole lot of cuteness overload. Now let's talk about something a little less cuddly: predators, because sadly there are creatures out there who wouldn't think twice about having your goats for dinner. Coyotes, foxes, stray dogs, even the odd rogue badger. They're all out there lurking in the shadows, waiting for their chance to strike. But don't worry, there are things you can do to protect your flock. Fencing is your first line of defense. A good, sturdy fence will deter most predators, but don't stop there. Consider adding electric fencing, motion-activated lights, or even guard animals. And never underestimate the power of vigilance. Keep an eye on your goats, especially at dawn and dusk when predators are most active. And be prepared to act quickly if you see something suspicious. Remember, a little bit of prevention goes a long way when it comes to keeping your goats safe. Right, let's talk about something truly disgusting: parasites. Because unfortunately, where there are goats, there are parasites. Internal, external, you name it, goats can get it. Worms are a common problem. They can cause all sorts of health issues, from weight loss to anemia. Regular worming is essential, but it's important to choose the right wormer and administer it correctly. Then there are external parasites like lice, mites, and ticks. These bloodsuckers can make your goats' lives miserable and can even transmit diseases. Regular inspections and treatments are crucial. And don't forget about the environment. Keeping your pastures clean and dry will help reduce parasite loads. It's a constant battle, but with vigilance and a good parasite control program, you can keep those pesky critters at bay. Now, let's talk about real estate. Goat real estate, that is, because those capricious creatures need a place to call home. And not just any old shed will do. Goats need a dry, draft-free shelter that protects them from the elements. They also need plenty of space to move around, as well as access to fresh air and sunlight. Consider the size of your herd, the climate you live in, and your budget when designing your goat housing. And don't forget about ventilation. A stuffy goat shed is a recipe for disaster. Whether you opt for a simple three-sided shelter or a more elaborate barn, make sure it meets the needs of your goats. After all, a happy goat is a productive goat. Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked in farming labor. Because, let's face it, running a goat farm is not a one-person job. Whether you're relying on family, friends, or hired help, managing labor effectively is crucial. Clearly define roles and responsibilities. Who's in charge of feeding? Who's cleaning the stalls? Who's chasing after that escaped goat? Because there's always an escaped goat. Communication is key. Make sure everyone's on the same page and knows what's expected of them. And don't be afraid to delegate. Remember, you don't have to do it all yourself. By effectively managing your labor force, you can create a more efficient and enjoyable work environment for everyone. Right, let's talk about the thing that makes the world go round: money. Because let's face it, goat farming is a business, and like any business, it requires careful financial planning. First up, create a budget, track your income and expenses, and identify areas where you can save. And don't forget to factor in unexpected costs like vet bills or emergency repairs. Explore funding options. There are grants, loans, and other programs available to help farmers get started or expand their operations. And most importantly, be realistic. Don't expect to get rich quick. Goat farming is a long-term investment, but with careful planning and hard work, it can be a profitable one. Well, there you have it. The top 10 challenges of goat farming, tackled head-on. It's not easy, this farming life. It's demanding, unpredictable, and frankly, sometimes it's enough to make you want to sell up and move to the city. But then you see those goats grazing peacefully in the field, and you remember why you do it. The fresh air, the connection to nature, the satisfaction of producing something with your own two hands. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more farming tips and advice. And remember, if I can do it, anyone can. Well, almost anyone.